And the Derby Nerd. Sorry for my delay.
Unacceptable.
Still reeling and still recovering from last night's game between Montreal's new Skids on the block and Toronto CN Power. I've not fully recovered from that bout, but what a fantastic game to end the first day of the Quad City Chaos. And we have a similar matchup here to start day 2 of the Quad City Chaos.
The Toronto Bay Street Bruisers playing the Montreal Sexpos.
This is the B team counterparts of the A team game we saw last night. That ended with a 17-point victory for the new Skids on the block, but an impressive performance. These two teams have met once. They met last August here at the bunker as well, and that game was won by the Bay Street Bruisers, but it was a narrow victory, about a 60-point victory when it was all said and done. But both of these teams have gone through quite a shift. They've lost skaters who've graduated up to the A level. They've brought in a lot of new, fresh blood. Yeah, and this could be as good, if not better, than last night's game.
Yeah, as it is with B teams, it's often difficult to keep a solid roster from one year to the next.
Yeah.
So every time teams like this meet, it's a little bit different than it was last time. Montreal has a few skaters that were previously new Skids on the block that are now playing for this Expos. Lady J and Trash and Smash you're going to see today.
That's right.
Ohio has also worn neon before.
That's right. And same thing with the Bruisers. There are a few skaters like Chronic, who has skated for CN Power. She may be the only skater playing today who has done so. Well, who are some of the fresh faces that are new to the Sexpos roster this year?
Hot Cross Guns, recent transfer, comes to Montreal, is playing for, I believe, her first game for the Sexpos now. A couple other rookies. Clara O'Kee has just started playing roller derby this season, is playing for the Sexpos. Played her first 2 bouts a few weeks ago in Montreal's round robin season kickoff for the home league there. Justin Powers, also a newer skater, played last season for the home team in Montreal for the Contrabanditas and has joined the Sexpos.
And we are actually underway on the track. And speaking of new skaters, Sneaky D, rookie for the Bay Street Bruisers, out there to jam number 21 in the blue. But she is facing that Trash and Smash, the skater you just mentioned, a longtime member of the Skids, and she, I have a feeling, will have a big impact on this game. And Ohio became the first lead jammer. Ohio coming through, picking up points now. Oh, but knocked out at the very last minute by Chronic. Actually, she didn't clear the pack. I thought she'd cleared the pack. She hadn't. So that means lead jammer goes to Sneaky D. Nice defense from both of these teams to get this game started.
Ohio's also completed her initial pass.
Oh, and Sneaky D getting called on a back block as she came in hot to that pack, hit that wall hard, split them, and gets called for the back block. But Ohio having a hard time getting past Misery May. Misery May and Chronic taking turns and recycling the Sexpos jammer.
Ohio, a skater for Montreal, has been here for a few years, has changed her derby name a few times. Previously skated under Ira Crass.
Oh, okay.
It was a case of where her nickname in life took over. Everyone just called her Ohio, and she just gave in.
She has played with the Skid. She played against Windy City last year in Chicago in the UIC Pavilion, so she does have some experience playing at a very, very high level. And once again, we're seeing, just like the game last night between these A teams, this is a very similar start. Toronto a little shaky at the beginning. A big shoulder to sternum hit from Misery May slows Ohio down. Also saw some punishing defense and power kills last night, and we're seeing that here as well. But Ohio picks up another 5 points. Montreal out to an early 15-0 lead. Sneaky D, generally a clean skater. That was an uncharacteristic back block. We'll see how Toronto recovers. Flying Brian Kilman, the bench coach for the Bay Street Bruisers, heading to the middle. He didn't like that call, I'm going to assume, I worked with Brian on a bench for a few years, and I know he's talking to the jam refs about it, and you can see Senor Wiener from the Queen City Roller Girls giving the explanation. All right, back on the line.
Hot Cross Guns is going to be jamming.
Fans of Southern Ontario Roller Derby will recognize Hot Cross Guns from her time with the Royal City Roller Girls. She's a phenomenal talent. It's great to see her here in Montreal, and she's already picked up her first lead jammer.
Yeah, made it through the pack before crossing the pivot line, so found a nice little gap there. Sneaky D out of the penalty box.
Making up a lot of track quickly. Sneaky D is an incredibly fast skater. Very similar style to Hot Cross Guns. I would like to see these two matched up this game, see what they can do against each other. Hot Cross Guns trying to get through on the outside. Very quickly moves to the inside, evades a nice evasive hit from Android WK. Sneaky D, though, also coming up back into the pack. Honey Boom Boom trying to hold back Lady J, another very experienced Sexpos skater. Sneaky D finally gets through the front of the pack, past Magnum PEI, and picked up some points. This is a strategy we saw employed a lot by Montreal last night as well at the A team, allowing the jams to continue, both teams to pick up lots of points.
She's being waved on again. Looks to the bench. Tilu also coaching. I think this is her first bout coaching.
I just noticed that Tilu is on the bench, former Skid.
Taking her retirement, did not skate last season. Has been come back into the fold for Montreal roller derby.
Hot Cross Guns coming around again. Again, both of these jammers putting up a lot of points in this jam. Not too much is going to change on the differential on the board when this one comes to its conclusion in about 30 seconds. Sneaky D again being called on a back block major. As I mentioned, she's generally a very clean skater. First time I've seen her get called on those back-to-back back blocks. So adjustments are going to be needed to be made for the Bay Street Bruisers to get back in this game.
Only a few seconds left in this jam. It looks like Montreal is content to let it run the full 2 minutes.
Hot Cross Guns going into the back of Tushy Galore at the end of that jam. So pretty even so far, aside from the back-to-back jammer penalties.
Swing Labacaz lined up at the jam line for the Sexpos.
4-3 pack advantage for the Bay Street Bruisers in blue. Sexpos do have the back line, Trash and Smash, guarding the inside. And they're just going to go back and let Swing Labacaz do the work. Nice defense, though, here. 747 is the center of that wall. That is Machu Picchu working very nicely with Robert Blind. Held all together by Chronic. They take her down at the pivot line. She's quickly back up. Again, fighting through finally with one to beat. Gets through, and she is your lead jammer. Nice work.
All four blockers.
Nice defense, though, that did kill a lot of clock. Almost 25 seconds it took her to get through that wall. Knocking to the inside very quickly. Nice move by Machu Picchu, the recent transfer from Halifax Roller Derby Association, off to a great start with her career here in Torrid.
She had a really good game yesterday, too, against Ohio's Gangrene.
Once again, a tight V3 wall up at the front. Swing Labacaz now working on Robert Blind at turn 2.
Working at the back of the pack. They've trapped Sneaky D as best as they can. And just as I say it, she sneaks her way through the pack. Completes her initial pass.
Sneaky D is an explosive skater. She can make up a lot of track quickly. Swing Labacaz is going to want to keep aware of where she is, and very quickly through on the outside of turn number 2, and now in for a scoring pass. So once again, Montreal allowing both teams to accumulate points. Trash and Smash with the last line of defense against Sneaky D holds her back. She does get through. Multiplayer block called.
Russian Croulette heading to the box on that one. Both teams pick up 4 points as the jam ends.
So 47-14 now, 6.5 minutes into this first half. The Montreal Sexpos nursing a little bit of a lead. Let's see if the Bruisers can make those adjustments. 2 power jams are the sole difference, I would say, so far in this in the early goings.
Yeah, this is going to be the first time that the Bruisers have been able to change their jammer, and we're already 7 minutes
right.
into the bout. So,
and it will be Belfast, 5-6-7-8, co-captain of the Bay Street Bruisers.
Skating against Justin Powers for the Sexpos.
And Justin Powers able to sneak around the outside. She is your lead jammer, so the third lead jammer picked up now in a row for the Sexpos. The Belfast is out, but she's got about a half a track to make up.
Beth Rav for the Sexpos sent to the box for a clockwise block.
So pretty significant pack advantage right now. Jess with a nice move to push the jammer to the outside. She's forced to call it off as Belfast sneaks in, and she did steal just the 3 points stolen for Belfast, so 3-1 jam for the Bruisers. So just 2 on the track now for the Sexpos, Ohio and Trash and Smash. I guess if you're just going to have 2, might as well be those 2.
Swing back pass jamming for them.
And that is Chevy Chaser, number 7 in the blue for the Bay Street Bruisers. And Chevy Chaser very quickly to the outside. She's got Trash and Smash to beat now as she comes up to turn number 2. Jukes out, comes in, and she is your lead jammer. First one picked up for the Bay Street Bruisers. Or second lead jammer picked up. Sneaky D lost her status when she went to the penalty box. A nice clean pass for Chevy Chaser. Snuck through like a ghost, was untouched.
More penalty trouble for Montreal blockers. Looks like Ohio was sent to the penalty box. Trash and Smash is by herself out there.
This is the first game in many years, not the first game ever in the Sexpos jersey for Trash and Smash, but it's been a long time that she's worn the Sexpos jersey.
A year and a half. She played one bout in Vermont.
Okay. It's not too long.
No.
18 months. Yeah. Hot cross guns out there. Lexicon getting her first action of the weekend for the Bay Street Bruisers. She was a big pickup at the end of last season for this B team.
The lone blockers for Montreal, Gunmal Mindy and Clara O'Kee.
Gunmal Mindy, a longtime veteran of the sport, began her career here in Southern Ontario for the Tri-City Roller Girls, now Tri-City Roller Derby. Another lead, though, picked up for the Bruisers, and Lexicon already coming back on her scoring pass. Hot cross guns having a hard time getting past a 3-wall up front. Oh, and a nice move by Gunmal Mindy to come around the front of the pack and hit Lexicon, but she's very quickly on her feet and through. No worse for wear. 5 points picked up for the Bay Street Bruisers. And Hot Cross Guns is heading to the penalty box on a cutting first power jam opportunity for the home team, and they are already making a run of it now, down by 17 points.
Mindy and Clara working hard with Beth Rav to stop the jammer. Pack gets too spread out, and they've got to let her go.
Lexicon ended up being one of the Bay Street Bruisers' leading scoring jammers last year, certainly on a jam-per-jam basis. So she's a big addition to this roster today. Oh, a nice hit from Beth Rav. Throws Lexicon to the inside.
Beth Rav was stopped by the Bay Street Bruisers blockers from backing up too far.
All 4 Bruisers on the track right now. Ohio with a nice hit. Nice work with Clara O'Kee to try and slow Lexicon down. Lexicon knocked out, but a very quick re-entry. Finally able to break through the 2-wall, stays on her feet, and gets through for another 5-point pickup. We have ourselves a 7-point game. Already, Scott, this is starting to turn into very much a mirror image of the game we saw last night. Trading power jams.
Employing the same strategy, playing the same way. It's
Yep.
just the colors of the uniforms a little bit different from this one. That's it. And time runs out on that jam.
Both these teams are mirror images of their A-team counterparts. A little less experienced, perhaps. But yeah, you're right. The same strategies, same style of play being employed.
Only 6 points separating the two of them now. Again, lots of long jams so far in this first period. We're just lining up now for the 6th jam of the bout.
11:15 in. Yeah. Swing La Bacayes, number 74 in the white for the Sexpos, and it is Belfast, number 5, 6, 7, 8 in the blue for the Bruisers, and already the defensive walls are split. Belfast working up at the front, gets knocked out of bounds, dragged back by Trash and Smash. And lead jammer goes to Swing La Bacayes.
2 skaters heading to the penalty box. Both of them called for out of play, both in different sections of the pack when it got split up.
La Bacayes is through, but Belfast also trying to follow her through, and she does get through. 5 points already picked up for Montreal, and they're going to call it off this time. Did notice that with the the Skids last night as well. Whenever the game got a little tighter, they were a little less willing to have those 2-minute kind of free-for-all jams, and we're seeing that again here with the Sexpos. Chevy Chaser back on the line, and Beth Rav getting her first opportunity with the Sarah for the Sexpos. She can be a pretty devastating jammer.
I really like watching her skate. She has a very relaxed stride. Looks very natural out there. Not your prototype for a jammer, but also very talented and able to push her way through.
Yeah, and there it is. You're seeing it. Both of these, actually, Beth Rav and Chevy Chaser, are both beautiful skaters. Oh, and but back block being called on Beth Rav. We've seen these These jam refs keeping an eye out for back blocks. This is the third jammer to head to the penalty box on a back block call. So power jams are now even, 2 apiece for the Bruisers and the Sexpos. Let's see what Chevy Chaser and her blocking counterparts can do.
Alcatraz and Magnum PEI working on her at the front of the pack.
Nice job by Chevy Chaser. Small in stature, but plays big. And again, I think it's that comfort on skates that allows her to do so. Former figure skater. Honey Boom Boom Jess allowing her to go it alone. Gets knocked to the inside, dragged back.
Android WK sent to the penalty box on a back block.
Another back block is the trend of this game so far. Machu Picchu, though, back out on the track working with Honey Boom Boom and Jess. Looking for a little bit of a trap.
It's another grand slam for the Bay Street Bruisers. The point difference is only 1 point now.
As we near the halfway point, it is a 1-point difference. And Chevy Chaser looking to mix things up. Passes off to Machu Picchu. We saw Machu Picchu take the star a few times yesterday as well against Ohio. Beth Rav back on the track. Honey Boom Boom Jess lining up the defense at the back. And there's that strength from Beth Rav, just pushing Honey Boom Boom up the inside line. But nice work from Honey Boom Boom, relentless, but has to eventually let her go.
A forearm penalty called on Sneaky Devil sends her to the box.
Lady J and Magnum PI working very nicely with Alcatraz. Strange to see Lady J in a Sexpos uniform.
Long-time member of the Skids.
Yes. And began her career as Fidois.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. Sneaky D, number 21, back out on the line. She's picked up 2 penalties so far tonight, both back blocks.
Sneaky Devil, the skater in the penalty box.
Number 74, Swing La Baka, is back on the line for the Sexpos. 4 3-pack advantage, a minor pack advantage for the Bruisers.
Swing La Baka joue pour les Contrabandites à Montréal. Dans son deuxième année avec la Ligue de Montréal.
I think all the members from both of these teams play in the house leagues. Is that correct? Or there's still some of the Sexpos who do not?
Trash and Smash and Lady J do not play for the home teams right now. I'm not 100% sure about Ohio or Beth Rav either. Trash and Smash and Lady J let go of their spots a couple years ago when all of the Skids left the home teams to focus on the travel team play. And I don't think they have gone back to play in the home league.
Got a league change. First one of the game, just past the midway point of the first half of this opening game of the second day of the 2014 Quad City Chaos. And the Toronto Bay Street Bruisers have just pulled ahead for the first time, 58-57. Now that power jams are even, we are seeing how equal these two teams are.
And they both got to be feeling a little bit of pressure from their leagues to take this one home too. It is not just an exhibition game where these two teams are concerned. They both really, really do want to win.
Lexicon is your lead jammer, a massive Gunwall Mindy facing off against her. Oh, and she went for the hit. Lexicon, though, able to stay up, calls it off, picks up all the points. So the Bay Street Bruisers slipping up to a 5-point lead now. Should say, they're lining up on the 1234 jam line.
Yeah. Based in Peterborough, Ontario, the 1234 Skate Company is owned and operated by Tord co-founder and former Death Track doll Lucid Lou, and serves the 705 area code. In addition to gear, 1234 also offers skate maintenance, classes, training, and league launch parties. Be sure to check them out at 1234skateco.com.
Ohio out there, number 0 to jam against Belfast for the Bay Street Bruisers. Belfast now working against Clara O'Kee at the front of that pack. She breaks her way through. Another lead jammer picked up for the Bruisers. Momentum kind of swinging their way right now.
At the back of the pack, Chronic took a forearm penalty, shoving Ohio a little bit, but effective nonetheless. Ohio was recycled back to the pack and now is a good 3/4 of the track behind.
Belfast gets through, picks up her points, takes a look, calls it off. Robert Blind heading to the boxes is going to start. It's 2-2 in the pack in the next jam.
Want to do another shout out to more of the sponsors for this Quad City Chaos in Toronto.
Where'd we be without them?
Would like to thank Radar Wheels. The MVP awards that will be handed out after the final game today are provided by Radar Wheels. Radar Presto is proud to sponsor the Quad City Chaos. Radar Presto, Say, those are nice. There's no way to read that copy without sounding a little bit creepy.
Yes, you did a good job. You did as good as you could. All right, number 7, Chevy Chaser, getting pounded around by Gunmole, Mindy, and Beth Rav at the back of that pack, and that is allowing time for the Sexpos Jammer to get through and pick up lead. Trying to see who that is as she comes around turn number 4. Chevy Chaser is through, approaching the pack now. Points picked up. Calls it off just in time as Chevy Chaser comes up to the back of the pack, runs into Gunmole Mindy.
Justin Powers picking up the 4 points for the Sexpos.
66-61 remains the 5-point lead for the Bruisers. Ohio now out there to jam against Sneaky D. Pack advantage shifting to the Sexpos, 4-2 for them. Machu Picchu and Misery May, the lone Bruisers blockers on the track.
Again, only 5 points separating them as we come up into this 12th jam. Just over 11 minutes remaining in the first period.
Ohio forces her way up to the front of the pack. She's got a 2-wall to beat. Misery May and Machu Picchu are doing their best to hold her back. Now they're going to shift back and try to pull some offense, but Misery May being sent to the penalty box in a direction of gameplay.
Ohio is out in front. She is the lead jammer, looking to score some points as she makes her way up to the back of the pack now. Finds an inside line.
Slips through. Machu Picchu is concerned with trying to get Sneaky D through. Almost got her through, but she gets hit by Wonder Brat. Drawn all the way back to the back of the pack as another clean pass for Ohio.
That's another lead change.
It's early, but if you're playing the DNN drinking game, have a drink.
Irish coffee, you could do that.
Yeah, sure.
It's good times for that.
Ohio coming through for another pass, so a huge jam right here. All started with that pack advantage. Sneaky D, though, has finally gotten through and has passed her, and they're both going to come in and score. They may have both picked it up.
Ohio picked up 19 points there for the Sexpos on that jam.
A massive swing in momentum on that jam. It's suddenly now a 14-point lead for the Montreal Sexpos.
Hot cross guns jamming for the Sexpos.
And that is, I believe, Lexicon. I'm going to base that just exclusively on their stance, opening stance, on the 12:34 jam line.
It looks like during her practices, some coaches said get low to her.
Yes.
She must have been 2 feet off the ground there.
It is her signature stance at the jam line. She's having a hard time with the back wall of Sexpos, but Hot Cross Guns is having no more luck with the front wall of Bruisers, and Jess able to drag her back. Android WK getting in on the action as well. Nice work, though, on the inside from Beth Rav, holding back Lexicon. Jess going one-on-one with Hot Cross Guns. Finally, Hot Cross Guns finds the seam, gets through. She is your lead jammer. Now, Lexicon getting dragged back once again by Beth Rav. Some great individual play from these B-team skaters. Some fantastic one-on-one skating. Finally, Lexicon gets through, but 5 more points have already been picked up by Hot Cross Guns to pad this Sexpos lead.
Being waved on by the bench.
Once more, putting a lot of faith in their defensive line, and this is a good defensive line with Magnum PEI and Beth Rav, both teammates on Les Filles de Wa.
Previously, yeah.
Previously.
Again, I'm not confident that Beth Rav is still skating with Les Filles de Wa.
They do have some experience together. Misery May trying to open up the outside lane. Could not do it for Lexicon. That's going to allow Hot Cross Guns to come through and pick up a few more points.
She completes her scoring pass for a grand slam.
On a nice helmet cover pass now executed by Lexicon, giving it to Android WK. The rookie who skates here in her house league team for the Death Track Dolls. Shrugs off a big hit from Beth Rav and gets through and picks up the points. 4 points for the Bruisers.
Those 4 points are immediately answered by Hot Cross Guns.
28 points now is a significant lead, and it's both on these natural Grand Slams. Jam has come to its natural conclusion.
2 more points picked up by Android WK just at the end of the jam.
Once again, the Bruisers have dug themselves a little bit of a hole. Joss Whelan out there on the line for the Bruisers. She is her first bit of action of the weekend.
And I think it's swing Labak ice. jamming in for the Sexpos.
Belfast goes outside, Swing Labakais goes in. Now both shifting positions, neither jammer finding any way out. Belfast finally sees an outside lane, takes it. First lead jammer status in 3 jams for the Bruisers, and boy do they need that. A cut coming up to Swing Labakais, a little bit of a momentum cut. She just couldn't stop herself from coming back inbounds.
And it's an unfortunate cut because it looks like she cut one of her own skaters.
Yeah, and it looked like she knew it was happening as it was happening too. She went right to the box. So once again, just as the Montreal Sexpos start to pull away, an opportunity presents itself for the Bruisers, and let's see if they can take it. Good defensive line out there for the Sexpos.
Gunmal Mindy, Magnum PEI, Beth Rav, and Lady J.
That's a lot more experience. Some of the most experienced players possibly in this game, actually, Gunmal Mindy and Lady J.
Lady J is one of the original members of Montreal roller derby,
Yeah.
so she will have been skating it 7, 8 years now.
That's right. And I'm going to guarantee that there are some Bruisers on the track right now who hadn't heard about roller derby 7 or 8 years ago.
So we'll take this opportunity to talk about another one of our sponsors of here at Quad City Chaos, Neon Skates. Neon Skates, Neon Skates, Neon Skates. Ottawa, Montreal, skateneon.com.
Well done, sir. Also, I'd like to tell you that this timeout is brought to you by Jackson Skates. Jackson Roller is a Canadian company, skater-owned and operated, committed to engaging elite skaters in product development to ensure its boots deliver world-class performance. JacksonRoller.com. Big thanks to them for sponsoring our timeouts all weekend here at the Quad City Chaos. Little shift to the Bay Street Bruisers line. They're going to put out Belfast on this power jam. Toronto Roller Derby taking a timeout to adjust, talk about how they're going to handle this. Again, it was a very imposing defensive line, and I don't know if the previous jammer they had out there would have been the best matchup, but Belfast able to power her way through. Probably the only jammer, well, arguably capable of doing that against this defensive line.
She just ran right over Lady J.
This is Belfast's 3rd year with Toronto Roller Derby and her 3rd season with the Bay Street Bruisers. Also skates for the Misfit Militia in Alliston, Ontario. She is through, picks up 5 points.
Beth Rav sent to the box for a clockwise block.
Belfast coming around on her 2nd scoring pass here, trying to get Toronto back into it. Teams have been trading momentum. Look at that great defensive wall from Magnum PEI and Gunmal Mindy. No room for Belfast to go. Lady J orchestrating the defense, another direction of gameplay, penalty being called this time to Gunmal Mindy, and Belfast is through with 5 more points.
Swing Labakais comes out of the penalty box like a rocket.
Runs into Jess at the back of that pack with some nice one-on-one defense. Another great skater. Oh, and a power move from Belfast breaks through that 2-wall and picks up 5 more points. And just like that, Montreal within 10 points again.
Swing Labakais breaks through on her initial pass, becomes lead jammer, calls off the jam, trying to staunch the bleeding there.
Belfast had picked up a no pass, no penalty on her initial pass, which negated her ability to be lead jammer, but not her ability to score, and she put up 10 points on that one.
Justin Powers jamming for the Sexpos.
Chevy Chaser out there for the Bruisers. Big pack advantage for the home team.
Sexpos' only 2 blockers are Wonder Brat and Trash and Smash.
Machu beat you up to play some offense, and that helps Chevy Chaser get through and take lead jammer, but very close behind is Justin Powers. Chevy Chaser getting a look from her bench, decides to call it off with a lot of the Bruisers at the back of the pack.
Trash and Smash and Wonder Brat, both with Contrabanditas in their background, never played together wearing the black and red. Trash and Smash had left the Contrabanditas to focus on new Skids play before Wonder Brat was drafted to the team.
And she's another original Montreal roller derby skater as well.
Yep.
Lexicon out there to jam against Hot Cross Guns. These guys have faced each other not only as Bruisers and Sexpos, but also as Bruisers and Royal when Hot Cross Guns skated for the Royal City Roller Girls. For the all-star team there. And if you want to talk to us, talk to QCC Hot Cross's Guns former teammate Francesca Flure will be happy to answer your questions. Hot Cross Guns is through now, not lead jammer, as the Lexicon is picking up points. Gets through the pack, takes a look, calls it off. Bruisers within 6.
5-point difference separating them. Just back and forth the action so far in this first period. The frequency of the jams has picked up. We're going to line up for jam number 18 with just over 3 minutes left in this half.
And it is full packs, 5-on-5 roller derby. Ohio out there to jam against Sneaky D. And Ohio now playing a little defense on Sneaky D, drags her back and then takes another run at that defensive wall from the Bruisers. Sneaky D, though, does get in front, facing off against all 4 Sexpos.
Chronic with a good hit on Ohio, backed her up.
Chronic, the only former member of CN Power on this Bruisers team. Oh, and Ohio getting past Robert Blind at the front of the pack. She's your lead jammer, but Sneaky D, who is very fast, has about a half a track to make up. Let's see if she can do it. Good defensive position at the front of the pack for the Bruisers, and that's going to allow Sneaky D to sneak in at the back, and both jammers are going to pick up points here. Just a matter of how much.
Ohio picks up all 4. Toronto picks up 2.
For Sneaky D. 7 points is the difference. It was close to that at halftime last night of the CN Power Skids game. Seeing the same thing play out here with, again, Montreal holding that lead.
Justin Powers jamming for Montreal.
Oh, and a cut from Justin Powers right on Annguard. I do not think Justin Powers even knew her skate went out of bounds. And Annguard just took one little step back. Power jam for the Bruisers here late in the first half, an opportunity to perhaps swing the momentum into their favor going into the break. I'm assuming with this power jam, unless the Bay Street Bruisers jammer also picks up a penalty, this will be the last jam of the half.
Another 5 points.
2-point game now. 1:20 left on the jam clock. Chevy Chaser quickly back around the pack, but it's a 4-wall of Sexpos up at the front in the nice defensive position. Annguard WK goes in, tries to mess things up with a little bit of offensive blocking.
She's got at least 1.
Nice move.
2 points there. And she gets backed up and recycled to the back of the pack in turn number 3.
But I believe we have a tie game.
As soon as this pass is completed.
Helmet cover pass now. Annguard WK accepting the star, but she gets knocked to the inside, stands up, notices that Gunmall Mindy. Very heads-up play by Annguard, noticing that the blocker who'd hit her out received a penalty.
A low block called on Gunmall Mindy, and that is a lead change.
And Annguard WK now pushing at the front of that pack, gets through, picks up the 5.
Justin Powers is out of the box. Completes her initial pass.
The Bruisers will take a lead into halftime. They've only led twice in this game so far.
15 seconds remaining in the jam.
4 more points picked up now, but and Justin Powers, another cut, sends her to the box, which means the Bruisers will continue this power jam to begin the second half. Oh, big hit. At the end of that jam, I didn't see who it was, a Sexpos skater with the hit.
The Bay Street Bruisers stretched the lead out to 11 points.
Unbelievable. That was Wonder Brat with that big hit at the end of that jam. Unbelievable first half here. Back at the bunker at the QCC 2014. They're living up to the expectations that were set so high last night by their 18 counterparts. Bruisers up by just 12 points. Slight adjustment there to the score.
I love the fact that this has become the great Canadian rivalry in roller derby. It's now hitting both levels of play. It's going to carry on at the Beast of the East when the home teams meet, and again, CN Power and the new Skids happen. I'm super excited that this is happening here at Quad City.
Yes, it's been an amazing weekend and a nice story too, seeing that Montreal's dominance, which is still there. They're still clearly the top team in this nation, but the rest of the teams are nipping at their heels.
It's super exciting. I'm so happy that it's happening and it's competitive and it's Canadian. And can't wait for the second half of this bout.
Well said. On behalf of Single Malt Scott and the Tour TV crew, the Derbiner will be back in 13 minutes for the second half. Do not miss it. Coming up. Still on camera. I hate that.